Forget everything you knew about listening. Today, we're going to bridge the gap between understanding English and actually speaking it. Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to English Focus Daily. I'm your host, Roxy, and I'm so happy you are here with us today. In this episode, I will speak slowly and clearly to help you understand every word. Maybe you can read English books easily. Maybe you can watch a movie with subtitles and understand the story. But then you meet a native speaker. You want to find the right words and have a real conversation, but suddenly, nothing. Your mind goes blank. Your words are gone. Many English learners say, I can understand everything, but I cannot speak fluently. If this happens to you, don't worry. You are not alone. This is what we call a learning plateau. It means you feel you have a library of information inside your head, but the door is locked and you cannot find the key. You think to yourself, I listen to English all day. I listen to podcasts and watch videos. Why can't I speak? Well, I have good news for you. The problem is probably not your brain. Your brain is fine. The problem is your technique. It is your strategy. This happens because there is a gap or a space between your passive vocabulary, words you only understand, and your active vocabulary, words you can actually speak. To fix this, you need special techniques like summarizing, where you tell the story of what you heard in your own words. You also need chunking, which trains your mouth to use groups of words instead of building sentences word by word. Building sentences word by word is very slow and tiring. Today, we are going to explore two different worlds of learning: passive listening and active listening. These are two different tools for two different jobs. I will show you how to combine them to unlock that library in your head. We want to work smarter, not just harder. Passive listening. Let's start with what most people do: passive listening. Some people think this is lazy learning. Imagine your daily life. You are cooking dinner, you are cleaning the house, or you are at the gym. An English podcast is playing in the background, but you are not focusing 100%. Are you really learning? Many people fear they are wasting their time if they don't give 100% of their attention. But the answer is a big no. You are not wasting your time. Imagine you are chopping vegetables and thinking about your shopping list. What is your brain doing with the English sounds? It is picking up the music of the language. Every language has its own rhythm and its own melody. When you listen passively, your brain is working behind the scenes. It is absorbing the flow of English. Think about a song on the radio. The first time you hear it, it is just noise. But after listening many times, you can hum the melody, even if you don't know the words. Passive listening installs the melody of English into your mind. English is a stress-timed language. This means it goes up and down. Some words are long and strong, and some are very short and weak. If your brain is not used to this rhythm, English sounds too fast or unusual. Think about a baby. In the first year, a baby does not use grammar books. They just listen to their parents' voices for thousands of hours. They are learning the music of the language first. This builds what I call listening tolerance. Have you ever had a language headache? This happens when you listen to English for an hour and your brain feels very tired. This is because your brain is working too hard to understand a foreign sound. Passive listening is like training. It reduces that stress. It tells your brain, hey, this sound is safe. It is part of our life now. It creates a foundation, like good soil for a garden. But remember, you cannot grow a garden just by planting the seeds. This is where many learners get stuck. They listen passively for hours, but they never become fluent. Why? Because they are always planting, but they never learn how to water the garden. So, let's get into active listening. Active listening. Welcome to Power Mode. This is active listening. It is the opposite of listening while you cook. For active listening, it helps to sit at a desk. No distractions. You need 100% of your attention, a pen, and paper. In this mode, you are not just a listener. You are a detective. You are not just enjoying the meal, you are trying to find the recipe. You ask questions. Why did the voice go up there? What grammar did they use? How did they use that new word? How shadowing improves your listening and speaking. To become a fluent speaker, understanding grammar is not enough. You need to train your nervous system to produce English sounds automatically without thinking. Shadowing, simultaneous shadowing, helps you master natural timing and stress as it forces you to keep up with a native speaker's flow without hesitation. This is the pro method. You try to speak at the same time as the speaker. You are like their shadow, maybe half a second behind. You match their speed and emotion. It feels impossible at first. You might only last 5 seconds. Most learners have a lazy mouth because they only use the movements of their native language. Shadowing changes that. If shadowing feels too fast, you can try delayed shadowing or echoing. Echoing improves your short-term memory and focus because it teaches you to store information in your mind while you are still talking. Here, you let the speaker say a few words, 3 to 5 words, and then you start repeating them while the audio continues. You don't pause, you are listening to new words while speaking the old words. This is like mental juggling. It trains your brain to handle fast English. If echoing is still too difficult, try chunking, also called listen and repeat. Chunking helps you build professional speech patterns, showing you how to link ideas together so you don't sound like a robot. We don't speak word for word. We speak in groups of words called chunks. For example, I don't know what you mean is not 7 separate words for a native speaker. It's usually 2 chunks. I don't know what you mean. In this exercise, you listen to a sentence, pause the audio, and repeat it. You must copy the exact tone and rhythm. You are like an actor learning your lines. This builds the strength you need to speak. These exercises together give you the confidence to join real conversations because they bridge the gap between knowing a word and actually using it correctly in a sentence. Tools to improve your listening. You need to sit down without distractions and use a toolkit of exercises like dictation, which helps you hear invisible, small words, or listening with a transcript, which closes the gap between what your eyes see and what your ears hear, or focused listening, which trains your brain to notice specific linguistic patterns that usually pass by unnoticed during normal listening. By focusing on the music of the language, its stress, rhythm, and intonation, rather than just individual words, your brain becomes more comfortable with natural speech patterns. Listening with a transcript. This is for visual learners. It closes the gap between what your eyes see and what your ears hear. For example, you see, "What are you going to do?" on paper, but a native speaker says it fast. "Whatcha gonna do?" Reading the text while listening helps you see how we link words together. Using a transcript helps you connect the sound to the words. Listen once without the text, then listen again while reading. This is an aha moment. You start to see how we link words together. Dictation. A step further than listening with a transcript is doing the dictation. Although it is a traditional method, it is very effective. You listen to a sentence and write it down. Why? Because it forces you to notice the invisible words. Small words like a, the, in, or on are often skipped by our brains. If you hear "he been here long time," you understand the meaning. But that's not fluent English. Dictation forces you to hear, "He's been here for a long time." The full form is, "He has been here for a long time." Every small word matters. It needs full attention. Focused listening, the detective. Normally, when you listen to English, your brain tries to process meaning, grammar, vocabulary, and accent all at the same time. This creates a high cognitive load, which makes you feel tired. Focused listening solves this by reducing your goal to just one thing. By ignoring 90% of the input and focusing on only 10%, you allow your brain to focus on specific details. For 5 minutes, you only listen for past tense verbs. Or you only listen for pronunciation of the TH. Because you focus on one small target, you improve faster. The golden strategy, the 80-20 rule. Now you might be asking, which one is better, passive or active? The answer is the golden strategy. You should not choose only one. Instead, you need a smart combination of both by using the 80-20 rule. Many students make a big mistake. They think, "I will only do passive listening because it's easy." They listen for hours every day while they work or play. But after a year, they still can't speak. Why? Because they never practiced the active part. They are like people who watch movies about swimming but never jump into the water. On the other hand, some students try to do only active listening. They try to focus 100% for 3 hours every single day. But very soon, they get a language headache and feel exhausted. They give up because it's too hard. The secret is balance. Spend about 20% of your English time on active listening. For example, spend 20 minutes every morning sitting at your desk, pausing, repeating, and analyzing a short audio file. This is where you plant the seeds and do the deep learning. Then spend the other 80% of your day on passive listening. Let English whisper in your ear while you cook, drive, or exercise. This is where you water the seeds. This way, you get the deep learning from the active part and the ear training from the passive part. This combination is the fastest way to become fluent. A common mistake and strategic solutions in English listening. many learners struggle with listening because they fall into a common trap. A major mistake is focusing only on one of these two techniques, passive listening or active listening. The solution is following the 80-20 rule. Make sure you sit down for at least 20 minutes of active practice every day. When you only focus on active listening, it can cause burnout and language headaches because you're trying to do too much at once. You should keep sessions short, about 20 minutes. Focus on consistency, doing it every day rather than intensity, doing it for many hours once a week. Spaced repetition. Finally, we must fight our biggest enemy, forgetting. Learning a language is like a forest path. The first time you walk it, it is hard to see. But if you walk the same path many times, it becomes a clear trail. Some research suggests we forget a lot of new information quickly, sometimes even by the next day. That is sad, but you can fix this with spaced repetition. Don't listen to this podcast only once. Listen again tomorrow, then again in 1 week, then again in 1 month. Each time you return, you tell your brain, "Hey, this is important, don't delete it." You should not always look for new files. Using the same file multiple times moves the information into your long-term memory. This is the only way to make the language stick long-term. Thanks for joining me in English Focus Daily, and I am so proud of you for spending this time today to improve yourself. In every episode, I'm here to help you move one step closer to fluency. To join our journey and grow together, make sure to subscribe to English Focus Daily. Let's do this as a team. I'm Roxy, and I can't wait to see your comments below. Tell me, which technique are you going to try today? Remember, learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Until next time, keep going, stay focused, and take one step at a time. Goodbye for now.